Hey everyone, it's Adele and April from Just Say Scrap, and we are here with Throw It Together Thursday. So we are taking our last 4 techniques and throwing them together. We are using our tri-fold card, our Wild Berry Color of the Year. We're using our fringing of paper, and we are also using our holographic paper with our gloss sprays. So check out our video, see how cool it looks. All right, so we have our tri-fold card here that we did the other day, and this is what we're going to be working on. So we're first going to start with our fringe. So I've got my wild berry paper here, and I'm going to cut them at inch strips. So if we're starting at an inch and then going up by a half, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of paper. So I'm going to get out my cutter and we are going to start to cut this. So just note when you are cutting your glitter, it is very hard to see. So if you're having difficulty seeing it this way, you can always just turn it over and cut it from the back. And that way you'll be able to see it, still get your fringes, and you can work with it that way. So now that we are actually done cutting everything, we are going to glue it all down. And that sound was just my extra blades falling all over the place. So when doing it, remember, we want to just make sure that we are fringing these edges. And I'm going to be using my Versa mat to line it up here. It's a little bit more difficult because we're doing that second, the second turn of the card. So you kind of have to glue that down. And when we're lining things up, kind of look at it on top to make sure that we are lined up with those half of an inch. You can also use this direction too, or if you really want, if it makes it easier for you, you can open your card and put it to this side. That actually might be easier. So we're gonna do this and then we'll come back. So I accidentally just glued the wrong side there, and that's where our rub and remove eraser comes in handy. Sorry if I'm shaking you, but it literally removes glue so easily, and it looks as if nothing has ever happened. So I use this thing religiously. It stays on my desk, and if I ever put glue down the wrong way, just take this thing, and look how easy that was. It's like it was never there. So now I can just fringe them this way, and all's good. And then you just kind of pick this spot off. You could also cut it off. If it's getting too sticky, you kind of just trim off the edges, and we're good to go. All right, perfect. So we've got our fringes here, and I can kind of fringe them up a little bit more if I want to, but this is perfect. If you see there is a little bit of excess on the edge, you can always just take our micro tip scissor and trim it down. So I'm just going to do that quick. It's a little bit more difficult with the fringes, so you might have to lay them flat first and then do it. But we've got all of that perfect. And now to throw together the other techniques. All right, so now to do the rest of our card. So just to bring in a little bit more wild berry here, I did want to do another glitter one. I actually cut it, but I ran out of space. So I'm going to use the wild berry shimmer trim up at the top here to finalize the look of our fringes. They're just going right up to the edge there. And then I'm going to pull in our non-stick scissor. So we've got that nice edge now. And then we've got to add in our other elements. So also when you're closing this, just be aware the fringes might get a little bit in the way. So you're going to have to kind of push that down. If for some reason you do, it's thicker. So if that's the case, you can always just use your nail and make it a little bit thicker. Like, see how it's kind of not a perfect flat line now? I kind of bulked it up there. That's just because we put something bulky here. So you could always maybe leave a little bit of space too. I didn't think about that before I did it, but it still looks good. So now, just to add a little bit more wild berry into this, I'm going to take this
But when you're scoring it, you could actually score maybe an eighth of an inch.
We could.
Something into there.
Use correct. But I'm going to take some wild berry. We're going to splatter this front part and the back of the card too.
I just love the color of the year.
This wild berry is very pretty.
Yes, it's very pretty.
All right, so we splattered that. That's why I love having my all-purpose mat here. I should have wiped it, but oh well. But look how cool that looks. Ooh, I should totally do it to the inside of this too. We're just splattering the rest of the card. Why not? It looks pretty. You can always squeeze a little. There we go. We've got some bigger dots now. Remember, splattering will get everywhere. Nothing is protected.
And don't squeeze too hard.
Yes, don't squeeze too hard. Ta-da! Love it. And now we can add in our gloss spray with holographic paper here. But I kind of like that. I kind of like how that look is, right? So we're just going to glue on this one side. And we're just going to kind of center it right in the middle here. Like that. When you open it, it does have this other end, so you could always do it like double gloss. So I probably would want to add this to it, this color, which I can totally do, and I'll let it dry and then add that later. But just kind of to show you. So I went heavier because I wanted to get the same effect that was on the other one where it kind of bunched all together. Otherwise, I could have just stayed after that first spray and just had the little droplets, but I really liked how the other one kind of clumped together. Just to me, it looked cool. So that's why I kind of oversaturated this one. What's also going to be different with this one is because I had already sprayed the white underneath it, when it kind of starts to move to the edge, those white dots, if they do start to show like there, are going to be prominent and actually stay prominent because they are already dried onto our holographic paper. So let me just wipe this up and then we can get going. So that is really going to look cool added to this side of our, I know this has some blue in it too, but I kind of like just the white and the pink for that. And so then we've got everything. So we can even take some sequins if we would like to, and some glue dots. I'm going to use the micro, I think. You can use any of them. Also, if you wanted to make this stronger too, I know I just use adhesive, but our red tape also is super strong, which you can use here. That way when people are, opening your card, they might not pull it, like see how that's potentially get pulled. So maybe I'll actually pull this in and re-glue that, but just a thought. And it's a new glue dot thing, so I'm going to try to take these super sparkly ones, I think, as I get stuck to. Use an anti-static pouch if things start to stick to you.
Yes, the sequins love to get stuck.
They do. That they do. So I am pretty particular when it comes to my sequins. You don't have to be, but I'm trying to get specific ones, which are harder to pick up sometimes. So with the red tape, also I always suggest keeping it in the bag because it is super sticky. So it will attract glitter and things. So if you keep it in the bag, it'll keep it the safest. But we just put some red tape on there to keep that more sturdy. And now we can kind of just throw some sequins on here. All right, and there you have it. So that is our tri-fold card with our holographic paper and the gloss sprays, which you really can see this one looks really cool. And then we also added in our fringing right here and our wild berry, which you can really see is the main color of this card. I should probably actually splatter that too, right?
Oh, I thought you did
So
that already.
let me get that one. The fringes might get a little splattered, but hey, who cares, right? Just adding more to the color. And if the back of the holographic paper gets shimmered, it's about to be covered, remember, by that piece that we finished. So I will post a picture when it's all done. But that is our card. So there you go. Now that's much more finished. And for this flower up here, we ended up putting a dot in the middle of the sequin just to kind of finish it off because it is a bigger flower. So just to show you, you can even triple layer things. But that is our trifold wild berry card. Okay, well, that's Throw It Together Thursday. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. Also, we hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are super excited, and we're going to continue to just post a bunch of videos. So, yay. Okay. And like I said, that's Throw It Together Thursday, so we will see you next Tuesday. Bye. Bye. Yay! We have 1,000 subscribers.
I think you called these shimmer gems instead of glitter gems before.
There's now Shimmer Gems. That's their new name.
Okay.
Too bad. Oh, I messed up. I did one extra. Being a lump on a log over there texting. And she's just cackling. And this is what I get to look at while I do Technique Tuesday.
Well, is this my bed tonight?
She's very tired.
The lighting, it looks like I have no teeth.
You look like you have teeth. Look at mine. Look at my nose.